In this class, we are concluding our discussion on duality in simplex technique. So, we have studied so far various types of primal functions and their conversion into duality. But now we are going to understand that the primal and dual both solutions are hidden in the final simplex table of any primal or dual problem which we have solved, and you can read the values of dual variables from the primal solution and vice versa, that is you can read the primal values of primal variables from the dual and dual variables from the primal solution. So this we are going to explain you in this class. So at times you may be asked in the examination to solve the primal, and from there you will be asked to give the values of dual variables. So let us consider this dual problem where the problem is maximize z is equal to 5a plus 20b subject to 5a plus 2b is less than equal to 20, 1a plus 2b is less than equal to 8, and 1a plus 6b is less than equal to 12, and both a and b are greater than equal to 0. So what will be this? First we convert the inequalities. So because it is less than equal to sign, so we need to use slack variables. So we write 5a plus 2b plus 1 s1. You can simply write s1 also. 1 is not required to be written as a coefficient, but here for the sake of simplicity or for the sake of writing the variables in the simplex table, we have mentioned the coefficients as 1 also. So this is 5a plus 2b plus 1 s1, because there are 3 constants, so there will be 3 slack variables s1, s2 and s3. So we write here only s1 because s2 does not appear in this, s3 also does not appear here. So we write 0 into s2 plus 0 into s3. This will equal to 20. Similarly, this will be 1a plus 2b plus s2 is equal to 8. There is no s1, no s3. So we write 1a plus 2b plus 0 into s1 plus 1 into s2 plus 0 into s3 is equal to 8. Here we have only s3, 1a plus 6b plus s3 is equal to 12, because s1, s2, these two slack variables we have already used in the upper two in equations. So here we write 1a plus 6b plus s3 is equal to 12. But when we convert into the simplex version, because s1 and s2 are equal to 0, so we write 0 into s1 plus 0 into s2 plus 1 into s3 is equal to 12. A, B, s1, s2, s3 all greater than equal to 0. So this is the simplex version of the primal problem. Now we transfer this into, we solve the problem, so we transfer this data into simplex table. So say the first row will be the coefficients of the objective in the first row. So this will be 5, 20, 0, 0, 0. So here you write 5, 20, 0, 0, 0. So this is the problem variable, or say basic variable. And basic variable of slack variables is always 0. You know that slack variable does not contribute anything towards the profit of the say company. So we give 0, 0, 0 and its capacity. So what is the worst solution? Worst solution is when we do not produce any quantity of A and B. So what will happen? S1 will be equal to 20, S1 and S2 is equal to 8, and S3 will be 12. This is the worst solution when the profit is 0. Maximization, we are maximizing, so it is a profit problem. So profit is 0 or maximum value is 0. That is the worst solution. From there we start to improve upon the profit until we reach the optimal condition. So at the start we only contemplate, we only plan to produce S1 is equal to 20, S2 is equal to 8, and S3 is equal to 12, and nothing, no A, B. So here we write S1 is equal to 20, S2 8, S3 12. In our earlier problems, we used to write this capacity or units on the extreme right, but you can write here also, there is no problem. This is the quantity. So these are the variables A, B, S1, S2, S3. So what we do then, the constant in equations, their coefficients are written in the next line. So this will be 5, 2, 1, 0, 0, 5, 2, 1, 0, 0. So here it will be 1, 2, 0, 1, 0. See here 1, 2, 0, 1, 0. And the third constant is 1, 6, 0, 0, 1. 1, 6, 0, 0, 0, 1. So and we calculate the net evaluation row simply because it is all 0. So 5 minus 0 will be 5. 20 minus 0 will be 20. So this is the net evaluation row. So you know that in maximization problem, all the values in the net evaluation row or letter J row or in the index row should be either 0 or negative. So here we find that both 5 and 20 are positive. So we consider the case of maximum positive. So maximum positive is 20. So this will be the key column. And then from we divide the quantity with the increase of key column. So then 20 by 2 is equal to 10, 8 by 2 is equal to 4, and 12 by 6 is equal to 2. So what is the, so this is the key column, and what is the minimum ratio? This is the 2. So this becomes the key row. Intersection of the two key column and key row is the key cell. So key cell is this, or key number is this 6. So what does it mean? That key column indicates that this will be the incoming variable in the subsequent iteration, and key column shows that this variable will be the outgoing variable in the next iteration. So S3 will be replaced by B or B. So we replace S3. So S1, S2 will remain, and S3 is replaced by B. So we write profit, a contribution of S1, S2 remain the same 0, and B has the contribution of 20. So we write here 20. Now you know that all the entries in the key column are divided by the key number. So we divide all the numbers, all the cell entries with 6. So 12 by 6, 2, 1 by 2, 2, 6 by 6, 1. So likewise, we divide all these. So 12 by, here see 12 by 6 is equal to 2. 6 is here shown in, say, bold letter. So you can understand that this is the key number. So this will become 2, this will become 1 by 6, 1, like that. So we have calculated the value. And then we have calculated the other cell entries also. You know all these procedures which we have read in the previous classes. And then we recalculate the net evaluation value. Here it is again one entry is positive, 5 by 3 is positive. So it means there is further scope for improvement. So we go to next iteration. We recalculate the key column, key row, and replacement ratio. So this is the key column because this is the maximum positive value here is 5 by 3. So 16, we divide each cell entry in this column with the quantity. So 16 divided by 14 by 4, this is 3 by 7. This will be equal to 16 divided by 14 by 4. So this will be 64 by 14. That is equal to 3 by 7. This is equal to 24 by 7. This is equal to 4 divided by 3 by 2. 12 by 2 is equal to 6. This becomes 2 into 6 by, so 12. So minimum value is which one? The minimum value is this one 64 by 14. So this 14 by 4 is the key number. It means A is being replaced by S1. So we write here in this A has been is coming incoming variable and S1 has been replaced. So A has a contribution of 5, and then we calculate the other values also. See, all the values will be divided by 14 by 4. So 16 divided by 14 by 4. 14 by 4 by 4 is equal to 1, 0. This will become 4 by 14. Likewise, we convert all the values and then we recalculate the net evaluation values. So we find that this is 0, 0, minus 5 by 14, minus 14, 5 by 14. So what happens? All the entries are either 0 or negative. So this is the optimal condition. So optimality has been achieved. So what is the optimal value? A is equal to 24 by 7 and B is equal to 10 by 7. So when we put this value in our objective function, what was the objective function? 5a plus 20b. Z is equal to 5a plus 20b. So if we put into 5a into 5a, when 5 into 24 by 7 plus 20b, 20 into 10 by 7, this comes to 45.7. A is equal to 24 by 7, B is equal to 10 by 7, this is equal to 45.75. This is our optimal value of the primal solution. Now, we write the prime dual of, let us calculate, write the dual of this given problem. So this is minimize, what will happen? Minimize, maximize Z, this is the problem. Let us consider that this is A, B, so maximization Z is equal to 5A plus 20B, 20B will become what? Say whatever variable you consider, so we consider here X and Y. X, Y, Z are the associated variable in the dual problem. Then you see what will happen here. It will be minimized. Say ZW or simply W is equal to what? 20X plus 8Y plus 12Z, subject to the condition that 5X plus Y plus Z will be equal to greater than equal to 5, because here it is less than, so it will be greater than equal to 5, and 2x plus 2y plus 6z will be greater than equal to 20, and all xyz will be greater than equal to 0. This is the dual. See, 5x plus y plus z is greater than equal to 5, 2x plus 2y plus 6z greater than equal to 20. So this is all greater than equal to 5. So what will happen? We convert this inequality, maximization problem has become minimization, so this will be converted into this greater than equal to sign will be converted into surplus surplus value, that will be minus S1 plus, because there are two in equation, so there will be 0 into S2 plus we have to add artificial variable here. You know that artificial variables are required to be added to start with in the greater than equal to type inequality. So 5x plus 1y plus 1z minus 1 S1 plus 0 S1 plus 1 A1 plus 0 A2 is equal to 5. Similarly, 2x plus 2y plus 6z minus S2. So 0 S1 minus 1 S2 plus 0 A1 and plus 1 A2 is equal to 20. And their contribution in the maximization problem will be what? Minus, we assign a very large number, so minus MA1 and minus MA2. We have explained you all these methods in the big M method, so you are aware of that. So our objective function becomes maximize Z is equal to minus 20x1 minus 8y minus 12z plus 0 S1 plus 0 S2 minus MA1 minus MA2, subject to these constants. Now, if you solve the problem, I am not solving the details here because I suppose that you are able to solve the problem, because big M method has been explained to you in details. It's quite a good number of examples. So I am simply writing the final solution in this solution. So here we find that the final solution is, this is the final table. So we get x is equal to 5 by 14 and y is equal to 0 and z is equal to 45 by 14. So if you put the values of x, y, z in this value minimize 20x plus 8y plus 12z, x, y, what you see, y is equal to 0. So x is equal to 5 by 14. So 20 into 5 by 14 plus 12 into 45 by 14. Then your value again comes to minus 45.75. So maximization was 45.75 and minimization is minus 45.75. So this has to be reversed in sign, no problem. But what I wanted to tell you, that how can we read the solution of primal from the dual? So I have reproduced this solution here, primal solution in this table. You see, this is the primal. So what was the value here? S1 was equal to minus 14, S2 was 0, and S3 is equal to minus 45 by 14. So this with sign change, minus S1 value minus 5 by 14 has become here with sign change, means negative 5 by 14 becomes positive 5 by 14. This has become the value of x. Y was any S2 is 0 here. So here Y2 will be 0. So Y is equal to 0. Z was equal to minus 45 by 14. This will Z here will becomes 45 by 14. So what you read, the quantity column, the capacity I units in the dual is actually the value of slack variables in the primal. Can you read it? See here, S1 minus 5 by 14. This, when sign change, becomes 5 by 14 in the quantity column in the dual. Here S2 is 0, so here also S2 is equal to 0. Y is equal to 0, second variable is 0. Here it is minus 45 by 14. The third variable is Z here, so this 45 by 14 here. So slack variable with sign change becomes the quantity column here. Now you see the primal value here. Here primal value. Primal value has capacity of 24 by 7, 12 by 7 and 10 by 7. So from this primal you have read the dual. Now from dual we have to read the primal. So see here minus 24 by 7 here is the slack variable here. So this minus 24 by 7 becomes 24 by 7 in the quantity column here. This minus 10 by 7, sign change 10 by 7 becomes B, and this one last column, and S1, S2, S3 is equal to 0. There is no S3 here. So here it will be A and B only. No S2 does not have any value because this is the slack value. So this is, so 24 by 7 and 10 by 7 is the quantity, which 24 by 7 and 10 by 7 is the quantity from here that you can read here. So from dual you have been able to read the value of primal, and from primal you have been able to read the value of dual. I think now you can understand why the primal and dual relationship is so important. That in the solution of primal, the solution of dual is hidden, and in the solution of dual, the primal is hidden. So this was the thing that I wanted to explain to you. So this is our end of session on simplex and duality. In the next class, we are going to start special kinds of, say, linear programming problem, and particularly transportation problem. So we shall start from the next class the transportation problem. So we end the class here. Thank you.